Tonight on Business Live, Bank of Ghana urged to regulate the amount of dollars sold at the counter to ensure only essential demand of the foreign currency is allowed. We'll hear from an economist who prefers some solution to addressing the cedi's rapid depreciation.
Sale of dollars for the importation of essential commodities. If certain commodities are not really relevant or not essential, then they should wait for the economy to stabilize.
Meanwhile, the central bank is set to meet with managing directors of banks and forex bureaus as free fall of cedi continues. And global leader in financial services and U.S. firm JP Morgan warns probable debt restructuring will further weaken the Ghana cedi as it is partly blamed the central bank for cedi depreciation. My name is Beverly Broohm. Do stay with me. Now, the dollar is selling at over 15 cedis, and the situation just gets worse as more pressure mounts on the government to act. Today, the Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah has hinted the Bank of Ghana will be meeting with managing directors of banks and heads of Forex Bureaus Association to discuss how supply of Forex can be stabilized and tackle issues of overpricing.
You would recall that right from the beginning of this year, government has been updating the country on some key economic matters. You recall in April, or just at the end of March, when Cabinet held its first quarter retreat, I updated you all on the kind of economic pressures that we were of the view was going to befall us because of what was going on, and some of the measures that the government was introducing right at that time to help containment. That's where we introduced the cuts to budget and a few other measures as addressed by the finance minister. At the end of the second quarter, when Cabinet held its retreat and the President had the opportunity to see the numbers again, you recall the President instructed that we start negotiations with the International Monetary Fund. And so the statement was released on, I think, the 1st of July, just after the second quarter retreat. Since then, there have been a lot of engagements with the fund, and a number of statements have been released to update the Ghanaian public on how that is going, and it's going pretty well. This week, as we are coming to the end of may I say, the third quarter period, going into the final quarter fully, tomorrow morning, for example, the Central Bank, the Bank of Ghana, will be meeting the managing directors of some of the banks and the heads of, I think, the Forex Bureau Associations for a series of discussions aimed at ensuring that the supply of Forex onto the Forex markets is stabilized and the overpricing is also halted, and that people who need access to Forex for legitimate transactions can get same without hindrance in the banking halls and at the Forex bureaus, as against on the black market or using some rates coming from some other quarters. They'll also be looking at, I think, some of the longer lasting measures to ensure that Forex trade is stabilized in this country, even as we expect a lot more inflow of Forex following the completion of the syndication of the Cocoa Board transaction.
Let's still stay on the cedi because global leader in financial services and U.S. firm JP Morgan has warned that the probable debt restructuring would further weaken the Ghana cedi. It is despite an increase in foreign exchange forward auction sizes. Here is a Business Desk report.
In its emerging market quick take on Ghana cedi's performance, it said the Bank of Ghana's decision to purchase dollars from mining and oil companies, inadvertently reducing forex availability within the interbank market, is one of the reasons behind the falling value of the cedi. Furthermore, this has resulted in a squeeze in the forex market, thus resulting in increased pressure on the dollar. Again, the central bank has not increased the size of its fortnight forex forward auctions, where it continues to sell $25 million. Continuing, the U.S. banking giant said the recent volatility of the cedi is mostly policy-driven. However, it stressed that a change in foreign exchange purchase policy could provide some near-term relief.
Meanwhile, economist and senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Eduowusu Sarkodie, is urging the Bank of Ghana to regulate the amount of dollars sold at the counter to ensure only essential demand of the foreign currency is allowed. He spoke on the marketplace.
Without the Bank of Ghana's interventions, the cedi would have depreciated more than we see. I think the economy would have weakened more than we see. And so I think that we should commend the Bank of Ghana for at least stepping up the efforts to play their role in stabilizing the economy. Yes, I agree with them that there are certain actions that the bank may have taken which may cause a further weakening or maybe wouldn't have stabilized the economy. But I think the bank will not, here the central bank will not take any action which will weaken the economy. They will not intentionally do that. If they have taken a decision which did not yield the needed results, then it doesn't mean that, well, they are not, in control of whatever they're doing. What is happening now is that there is a shortage of dollars or forex in the market. And there's every reason for the bank or the government in general to make sure that there's enough forex on the market. If somebody decides to buy dollars because of speculative, motive, I'm not sure the bank can really do much on or change the person's mind. Just that we have to be patriotic. The bank can also give a directive as to perhaps how much dollars can be sold at the counter, and they can also give another directive as to the sale of dollars for the importation of essential commodities. If certain commodities are not really relevant or not essential, then they should wait for the economy to stabilize.
Now, interest rates inched up to 33% following an increase in inflation rate in the month of September to 37.2%. Once again, the sale of the Treasury bill by the government was undersubscribed for the second consecutive week by 16%. Charles Nexeniaboa has more.
The increase in interest rate is, however, lower than the current inflation of 37.2%. and the rate of cedi depreciation, which is more than 50%. This means the real rate of return of the short-term securities for investors is still negative. Again, the lower yield of the Treasury bills compared to the rate of inflation and the cedi depreciation rate makes it unattractive for investors to purchase the cedi-denominated assets. According to the auctioning results by the Bank of Ghana, the interest rate on the 91-day T-bills went up by 0.76% to 32.15%. That of the 182-day T-bill also hit 33.07% from 32.23% the previous week. The results also showed that the government secured a total of 1.31 billion cedis from the sale of the short-term instruments against a target of 1.56 billion cedis. Some market watchers may attribute the undersubscription of the financial instrument to liquidity challenges within the economy.
Now, Cosmos Innovation Center says it is committed to empowering young people to find innovative and entrepreneurship opportunities within the agricultural value chain. According to the Executive Director, Benjamin John Kesse, his outfit has initiated various programs that will scale up the activities of entrepreneurs across the country. He spoke to Joy Business at the KIC Agritech Challenge Classic at the University of Ghana, where 15 startup businesses were selected as winners of this year's edition.
The KIC Agritech Challenge Classic was to empower young people to drive innovation in agriculture and train them to lead sustainable and successful businesses. According to Benjamin John Kesse, the program aims to drive technology and innovation as a catalyst to enhance productivity, improving the health, and creating more jobs within Ghana's agricultural sector.
The major difference that we have from this year versus the other years that we have trained altogether about 600 entrepreneurs is that we're working with universities across the country, 5 universities as at now, where we are in each university we have about 120 students and graduates coming together to form business ideas to pitch in this competition. Whereas in the past 6 years, we were able to have about 600, a little over 600 entrepreneurs to train. Just this year alone, we've trained over 700. So that is a major difference. And another major difference is the kind of business ideas is also focused on value chains within the regions where these entrepreneurs are coming from. And it is also allowing the entrepreneurs to now dig deeper into the value chains and challenges within their communities, immediate surroundings, and and helping them. And what we believe in is in that once we are solving small problems within the communities, coming together and solving a global problem, and that is what we're focusing on.
Some of the student entrepreneurs explain the journey so far.
We are going into the rural areas, setting up aggregating centers, as well as we also having our greenhouses somewhere in Beverly Broohm, about 5 acres, about 6 or 7 of them, so that we'll have a wide supply net of snails to do the processing and also to take advantage of its shelf and then the other part of it.
Our page was about a product that serves a dual purpose. It is called a Kuyafuadanfo, and the product serves a dual purpose in the sense that it's a fertilizer and at the same time a pesticide. So our main aim in the Ghanaian market is to increase the crop yield of farmers and at the same time increase their profit margin by 50%.
The Agritech Challenge Classic is a 7-month annual training program aimed at developing the interest and building the mindset of students and young graduates to ultimately drive systematic change in Ghana's agricultural sector. James Echen's report for Joy Business.
You're still watching Business Live here on the Joy News channel with me, Beverly Broohm. We take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Do stay with us. Hello again. Thanks for staying with us here on Business Live. Now, it has become critical for Ghana to have a digitally literate workforce to enhance economic growth. That's according to Deputy Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Amapoma Boateng, who has been speaking at the 12th Ghana Information Technology and Telecom Awards in Accra. She urged the business community to support efforts by the government in building a digital economy.
The Ghana Information Technology and Telecom Award is organized by Instinct Wave Africa to celebrate the performance of stakeholders in the information, communication and technology industry. Speaking at this year's event in Accra, Deputy Minister for Communications, Amapoma Boateng, underscored the need for stakeholders to leverage government policies in digitalization to boost the economy.
In this new age, for Ghana to build a robust digital economy, having a digitally literate workforce is necessary to enhance the widespread adoption and use of digital products and services by all Ghanaians, irrespective of geographical location and economic status. I wish to state here that digital skills here include technology skills as well as business skills for building or running a startup or enterprise. For this, I say thank you to you all for the valuable workforce that your business entities have created.
Meanwhile, Joy Business's Ebenezer Sabute was adjudged the ICT Reporter of the Year for his consistency in promoting the sector through his reportage. Chief Executive of Instinct Wave, Akim Naftal, believes that ICT professionals have been very supportive of the economy, hence the need to award them.
Allow complacency to affect us. So we know we are in a very tough situation at the moment, but at the same time, getting out of the situation needs technology as well. So bringing them together after 12 months is a way of reassuring them that despite the volatile industry, coming together to celebrate your achievement is still very important to us as a business and as a company.
Other award winners for the night include Dr. Albert Nchiboesiakun, Director General of the Cybersecurity Authority, Achi Hesi, CEO of Gibbs, and Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Esla Owusu-Ekufo, was honored as Digital Leader of the Year.
Public Procurement Authority is committed to ensuring that all institutions adhere to procurement laws. Speaking to Joy Business at the handing over ceremony of the Ghana Institute of Public Procurement and Supply, Chief Executive Officer of the Public Procurement Authority, Frank Mante, noted that his outfit is organizing training programs for heads of institutions to bring them up to speed on the requirements of the law and the need to ensure proper procurement procedures. Here's a report.
The Ghana Institute of Procurement and Supply is the governing body of procurement professionals in Ghana. The association, which has been in existence since 1981, witnessed the swearing-in of new leaders to mark the beginning of a new dawn. Speaking to Joy Business at the handing over ceremony of the Ghana Institute of Public Procurement and Supply, Chief Executive Officer of the Public Procurement Authority, Mr. Frank Mante, noted that his outfit is organizing training programs for heads of institutions to bring them up to speed on the requirements of the law and the need to ensure proper procurement procedures.
PPA as an institution have already said that we are supposed to build the capacity of actors within the procurement space. Okay, so procurement officers, heads of entities, so for example, a head of entity, he will be responsible for ensure compliance with the law. So for when I say head of entity, I mean a CEO, Director General. Any infractions as far as the Procurement Act is concerned, they are expected to be held responsible and accountable for that. So we focus on building their capacities as well. Again, building the capacity of the private sector, so suppliers, contractors, consultants. We've been organizing training sessions. This week alone, I've been, in 2 training sessions where I facilitated myself, just so that we're able to bring them up to speed with respect to the requirements of the law.
Elaborating on the need to pass the procurement bill, the newly sworn-in president of the Ghana Institute of Procurement and Supply, Simon Annan, said the bill will sanitize the procurement space by ensuring certification of professionals.
The procurement bill, which is at the drafting stage, will soon be moved into Parliament for Parliament to help us pass it. And when that bill is passed, then it will help us to curb some of these infractions. I will call them infractions because when you look at the Auditor General's report, there are a lot of procurement infractions. Some of them are not really corruption, but the procedural or administrative errors. And this calls for an institute which is backed by the act or the law and ensuring that the members are well trained, well certified, and well capacitated to understand some of these administrative errors and be able to correct it.
On the role of procurement in facilitating trade and local inclusion in Ghana's industrialization agenda, Head of Department of Management Science at the Gimpa Business School, Professor Ebenezer Adako, called for a deliberate policy to source raw materials from local producers to boost small and medium-scale businesses in the country.
If AFTA is going to really work or is going to survive, it all depends on how the professional body like Ghana Institute of Procurement and Supply, how they organize themselves and ensure that they source from the African continent. They are the forefront of buying or forefront of purchasing. They can choose to buy or source from outside of the continent. If they do so, they are supporting the supply chain base of other industries. And it is going to hurt us as Ghana, going to hurt us as Africa.
The outgoing president of the institute, Collins Ajiman Sapong, congratulated the new executives and called on them to train the youth and upcoming procurement professionals on the need to uphold the ethics of the profession.
Procurement and supply, is the highest when it comes to the student population. And therefore, there's the need for us to also focus on the youth, the new graduates, so that we mentor them, build them, because we need to catch them young, develop them, push to them the ethical behavior and how we practice our procurement across. That's one thing that I will pray that the current executive will also push.
The new executives have been charged to ensure the passage of the procurement bill.
And that's how we end the show tonight. Thank you so much for your company here. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Beverly Broohm, and I leave you with your money tip on Money Lab.
Hello there, and welcome to Money Lab. In this episode, we shall talk about personal budget and the need for you to create a personal budget. What is a personal budget? A personal budget is a tool that compares and tracks your income and expenses for a defined period. Though not an exciting exercise, creating a budget is an important aspect in keeping your finances in order. A personal budget helps you track how much you will spend and save each month. By following a budget, one is able to pay his bills, save for major expenses, and build an emergency fund. Overall, a budget puts you on a stronger financial footing. Thank you for joining us on Money Lab today. See you next time.